Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. This is my outfit for today. This dress came from Old Navy. This belt came from Old Navy. And these shoes here are from DSW. This was the second pair of shoes I got with my gift card. So this is all new today, with the exception of my watch right here and these Alex and Annie bracelets. I like to try and stretch out the new pieces of clothing that I bought over the summer throughout the days of the beginning of the school year, because when I was little, after I wore all my new back to school clothes, I just felt like the school year was over. So I don't want to wear them all right away. So this is one of the new things that I bought. I am going to head to work, so I will see you guys a little bit later. Have a good day, everybody. I am on my way to work, and I just wanted to check in because I know I won't have a chance when I get in the classroom, because my classroom isn't set up for the day since Friday was Friday and I never set it up for Monday on Fridays. The first thing I wanted to clarify is that when I referred to lesson planning on Friday and that it took me about an hour and 15 minutes, I want to be clear in that it took me an hour and 15 minutes to transfer some very detailed plans for language arts into my plan book and then add math, science, and social studies. So if you're a new teacher out there, I don't want you to think that I was able to plan a full week in an hour and 15 minutes, especially given the fact that I was planning new material. We're dealing with Wonders, which is new to us. And I wanted to apologize for the audio in the last video because I accidentally put a whole song in my video when I was editing it. The song that I normally use in the first 10 seconds of the other two videos or other 3 videos that I've made. I usually just put 10 seconds worth of that song in there, but somehow I accidentally dropped the whole song into it, and it happened multiple times. So the song was in the video multiple times, and YouTube can manually remove it for you, and I think in doing that, it messed up the audio for the rest of the video. So that's why in the very beginning you could hear me and then not hear me and hear me and not hear me, because those were spots where that song was showing up. So aside from that, it's Monday, it's a minimum day. Which means we get out at 1:15. There's a lot that I need to try and accomplish on Monday, and I'm a little nervously excited about this week, because this is the week where we actually jump into Wonders, our new language arts program, and this is the week where I really start to try and get the ball rolling with Reader's Workshop in my class. So I'm excited, but a little nervous because it's a lot to try and take on all at once. And so, but I'm going to do it because I just have to get it done. And after school today, I'm supposed to meet with my team so that we can kind of check in with each other on Wonders. But I also think there's a chance that I'm supposed to be meeting with my assistant principal and the other teacher leaders to go over some STEM projects that we want to do for the school year. So I might be double booked. I'm going to find out when I get to school. So I hope you all have a great day. I will talk to you guys sometime later. So have a happy Monday.
Good afternoon. It's about 4 o'clock and school has been out since 1:15. So for about 30 minutes after school, I was checking my emails, dropping off paperwork in the office, getting some technical issues straightened out with Connect Ed, which is the online component to our new language arts adoption, which is Wonders. And then we had a team meeting, and I believe this morning on my way to work, I told you that I thought that I was double booked. Like, I thought that I had 2 meetings after school, one with my team and then one for the other teacher leaders at my site, and that was true. There were 2 meetings scheduled, but luckily our administrator or our vice principal was nice enough to reschedule the meeting that we were supposed to have, because none of the teacher leaders, myself included, were ready to sit down and meet and talk about STEM projects that we wanted to do for the school year. So I ended up just meeting with my team, and we met for probably over an hour. I'm not exactly sure how long it took. And we just met because today was our very first day doing a true, real Wonders lesson. So we planned, we went through the TE, and this was the first day that we were actually doing a lesson that the kids will be tested on in some form later this week. And I just felt so bad. I don't know that I've said in any previous video, but I am the teacher leader for 5th grade, which just really means that I'm like the middleman between the administration at the school and then the other teachers in 5th grade. So I go to a teacher leader meeting maybe once a month, get information from the administrators in terms of what goals they have, what they would like to see, what programs they're thinking about and stuff like that. And then I communicate that with my team. So that's one aspect of my job as teacher leader. And the second aspect is, you know, you kind of need to be the leader for your team. And to me, that means anytime we're given something new or anytime we're trying to tackle something that is unfamiliar to us, I kind of need to make sure I have the right attitude and set the tone. And I am very excited to have a new language arts adoption. Don't get me wrong. Like, we have been operating without a current language arts adoption since I've worked for the district. Like, it was so old. There were stories in there about Michelle Kwan, and my kids had no clue who Michelle Kwan was because they weren't even born yet. So I'm very excited to have a new series with more current stories that is more aligned with the Common Core standards. But I mean, today was a little frustrating because it's just all so new, and I didn't get through everything I had planned, which I'm okay with because that is just how it goes with teaching. You will plan your whole day, and it's rare that you get through every single thing. But I think what was frustrating is that my team had a lot of questions about just the pacing of things, and how do we want to handle assessments, and how do we want to group kids, and how do we know what we can eliminate from the TE, and what lessons are crucial lessons. And there were some of those questions that I didn't have answers to, and I felt bad. Like, I felt like as the teacher leader, I should at least be able to answer the question or be able to direct them where to get them, and I really couldn't do that. And I know all the other teacher leaders at the site are in that same position because none of us know. We haven't worked with this long enough to know how to answer those questions, but I just felt bad. And it's just frustrating to like be working but not be confident in what you're doing. So by the end of the meeting, we kind of wrapped our minds around that we're gonna need to take this one day and 1 week at a time. So we have a plan for just getting through this first week. We'll probably re-meet next Monday, touch base again, and see how things are going. So I just need to be patient with myself. My teammates are not giving me a hard time about it. Like, they're very understanding, but I think, you know, when you want to function in a certain way and you don't think that you're doing it, it can become frustrating. So right now, the other part that's causing me a little anxiety, and I feel bad because it sounds like I'm always anxious as a teacher, but that is the nature of the job. It is a job that requires a lot and oftentimes comes with a lot of pressure. I am making sub plans because I am out again tomorrow, which is unheard of for me. And I don't know that many teachers can say that they've been out, or they will be out 2 times within the first week. So the first time I was out last week was because we had a half day for planning, and that was provided to us by our administrators. Tomorrow, we are getting a full day so that we can hopefully get through the majority, if not all, of our students in terms of running records. Running records are just reading assessments that you give your students to figure out what grade level are they at in terms of fluency, how well are they able to read, and comprehension. Are they able to even understand what they're reading? And again, while we are very lucky to be able to have a full day out of the classroom to assess our students, this is just like the worst time of year to have to be out. So if this were later in the year and I was at the point where I felt like my class could run itself without me being there, that would be great. But we are still early in the school year. The kids are not like solid in routines. This classroom could not run itself just yet. And they had a sub last week and it didn't go very well. So there's the anxiety of being out again, and this time for a full day and not a half day, which also comes with the need to make sub plans. So I am now in my room trying to decompress because being overly stressed is not going to get me anywhere. So I am currently getting some things together for a parent volunteer that I think is going to come tomorrow and help me prep some things. So I'm going to get all that ready for her, and I will probably end up making my sub plans at home. So it was a Monday for sure. So I'm going to try and stay positive though, because don't get me wrong, I'm very happy to have this new language arts program, but there are some growing pains that come with it. And right now we're in that stage. And so I think I just need to be patient with myself. And sometimes that's hard for me to do. So I will check in with you when I'm done. And yeah, that's all I have to say for right now. I need to kind of get myself situated for tomorrow. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Good morning, everyone. Here is my outfit for today. I am wearing jeans. I normally have to reserve jeans for Friday, but I am wearing jeans today because I will be on site, but I will not be in my classroom because I will be leveling my students. So the jeans are from Old Navy. These little sandals here are from New York and Company. I've had them for probably 5-6 years. This, I don't think this is called a kimono, but if it is, whatever it is, I got this from Macy's. I'm wearing a long and lean tank top underneath from Target. This necklace here is from Francesca's. I'm wearing this watch today and just one of my Alex and Annie bracelets on the other wrist. So I will see you guys in a little bit.
Have a good day.
Thank you, you too. Gotta get my coffee. It's 7 in the morning and I need to go to work early just to get myself ready for a day filled with leveling. Sorry, it's early. So obviously I didn't go to the gym this morning, but I did wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to make sure I got out early. So I'm getting a sugar-free iced coffee, which I think I said in my very first video is one of my favorite things. I'm sad that they don't have the buy one get one free anymore because they were doing that for a while. So I bought myself a sugar-free iced coffee, and I owe my friend Liza a coffee for talking me off the cliff I was on last night. So I'm getting her a coffee black, which is disgusting, but that's what she wants. So my plan is to get the coffee, go to work. I need to make sure I have everything laid out for the sub. I finished my sub plans yesterday at about 11:15, so I went to bed late. And everything's typed up. I just need to read through it one more time to make sure like it makes sense and there's no typos because I was pretty tired. And there's a couple of sets of copies that I need to make. And then after I do that, I need to go to the classroom where I'm going to be doing all this leveling and staple all the paperwork together, which hopefully I'll be able to show you what I mean. But we had a copy aid, or some copy aids run copies for us, but they only ran copies of the front side of the assessment sheet, but we need the front and the back. So the backs will run separately, so I have to staple them to the fronts now. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, yeah, I have to spend some time stapling back sides of papers to the fronts before I even start leveling the kids. So it is a new morning. I am waking up with a new attitude. I am not going to let the beginning or the hecticness of this school year get me down or make me feel discouraged to do the things I want to do this school year. So I'm just gonna suck it up, get through it. I am going to try and document how long this process takes of leveling the kids because it is pretty unreal, especially if you have a larger class size like I do. I have 33 students and I am not well versed at leveling or doing running records, which I should be, but I think when you teach upper grades, you tend to think that that stuff should be left to the primary teachers, and you don't really, at least I and my teammates didn't really dig deep into running records for the past several years. And now my school and my district is kind of shifting to making sure, you know, we're doing running records on all students to see where their reading ability is at. So it is a learning process for us, and what we've learned is that the process can take a while. So in years past, when we would do reading assessments on students, they would be timed for a minute. So they would only be reading to you for a minute, and you'd calculate how many words correct did they read in that minute, and we wouldn't even ask them what they read about. It was strictly how many words can they read in a minute accurately. Last year it shifted to now they're not reading for just a minute, they're going to read the whole passage, which could take various amounts of time depending on the student's reading ability. Then you're going to ask them 4 very directed questions. You're going to score whether or not they've answered those questions correctly, and if they have a certain rate of reading accuracy and a high enough level of comprehension, you go on to the next passage. So you keep going with the student until you get to the point where the student either can't read the words and or they can't understand what they've read. Now that was last year, and that process could take anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes per student. Multiply that by the amount of students you have, and last year I had 34 students, and that process took a very long time, and we had to do that 6 times a year, every 12 weeks. This year we thought it was going to be a little bit better because they reduced that to 1 time a trimester, which equaled 3 times a year. But now the catch is, whereas last year they were reading 1 passage and you had a copy of the whole passage too, and they were asked very direct questions for comprehension that were multiple choice and that you knew the correct answer to. This year they're reading passages. They're still not timed. They are being asked questions, but the questions can be subjective. Like, they're not very cut and dry. Like, the correct answer to that question would be A. So that makes it a little bit more challenging because you really have to listen closely to what the child is saying and really think about if what they're saying is correct. And there's all these grids, I think, that you have to use to ultimately find their level. And you still have to keep going until a student gets to the point where they are no longer able to either read and or understand what they've read. So the stress for all of us at my site is, with our class sizes, I have 33 this year, and the fact that now these questions that we're asking them are not just cut and dry questions, and we're new to this system, it could take a while to get 1 whole class leveled. So I'm going to try and document where I start today and where I finish. You can get a sense of how many students I can get through in a day. And I've had the help of an aide that is well versed in this system, and it's even taken her a long time. Like, she's even saying with her experience, it could take her 20 to 30 minutes to level 1 student, just depending on where they're at. So I have just gotten to work. I'm gonna head in, I'm gonna get myself situated with the sub, and I will check in with you a little bit later. Have a good morning, everybody.
You don't have, oh, you did Y.
Never
You
mind,
have
it sounds
Y
like
now.
you still want me to check? Because it sounds like none of us have them.
Oh, yeah.
Getting your steps in. Okay. Hey, you're gonna read the story Ellen is Missing. In this story, Anna has a pet spider named Ellen who escapes from her jar. Read to find out what happens as Anna searches for her.
Matt's sister Anna has a pet spider named Ellen. It was a trapdoor spider that Anna found in the yard.
So it is 12:30. It's lunchtime for. It's lunchtime. Hi, Mrs. Shu. There she is. It's 12:30. It's lunchtime. We're taking a break because the kids are going to lunch, and it's our lunchtime, and we can't level.
break.
Yeah, we can't level them while they're at lunch. We're not going to be pulling them off the playground. So on average, we calculated it's taking us about, would you say 21 minutes to level 1 student. We each have a class of about 32 to 33. I've gotten through 17 students. Mrs. Chu has gotten through 18 students, and Mrs. Haston, you want to jump in here?
My lucky number. My lucky number 13.
13 students. And that's with the help of our aides. So I had 3 already done prior to today, and then all of our aides came in from 11:30 to 12, so they helped us, and they have been working on this for the past week and a half. So it's taken a week and a half for us to level 17 students because it averages about 20 minutes per student. So I will check in at the end of the school day to let you know how we end, and I don't know, give you some final thoughts on it. So I'll see you guys later. It is now 4:25. I am back in my classroom, and I have to say that I'm feeling much more positive and much more optimistic than I was going into this morning. So this morning, I was a little, not negative, but I think I was just a little anxious about how the day was gonna go. I had never leveled any student using this particular system. So before I started, I watched Liza, one of my teammates, do one because she had done a couple on her own. And then I just jumped in there and got it done. And once I got started, it was very easy to do. Like, I understood it. It wasn't super complicated, but it is still time consuming. So when we checked in at lunch, we told you on average, it was taking each of us about 20 minutes to level 1 student. And we were all at the point where we had completed 17 to 18 students. After lunch, I only got one student leveled. So from 110, 115-ish to about 2:30, I was working on leveling one particular student. And by the end of it, I had ended up working with that student for about an hour and 45 minutes total, because I had worked with her 30 minutes before we went to lunch. Then she went to lunch, she came back right after lunch, and she was the only student I saw. So it took me about an hour and 45 minutes with that one student. And the only reason it took me a little bit longer with her was because she was brand new to our school, so I had no starting point to use on her. So all the other kids we had leveled, we knew how they ended the school year, and so that was where we started. So if a student ended 4th grade at a level Q, then I started at a level Q. So with this new student, I didn't know where she was because we didn't have that information from her school, and that's why it took a little bit longer. So after a full day of leveling with the assistance of an aide for 30 minutes, I got through 18 students, which means I have about 15 more to go. And which also means I'm gonna have to find the time to get through those 15 students. My aide will still come for 30 minutes a day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But because it takes about 20 minutes or so, if I'm lucky, she'll get through 2 in each of those times. So there's still a little bit stressed there about when exactly will I get the levels established, and I need to finish leveling the students so I know how to group the students. And I can't really run solid reading groups until I know what my groups are. So even with all that being said, I definitely feel better than I did ending the day yesterday. At lunch, we had kind of like a working lunch with my team where I met with them and just kind of debriefed about our meeting yesterday and kind of talked about how I'd like us to approach things going forward. I think we just got ourselves overwhelmed with just the newness of Wonders, and then listening to what all the other grade levels are doing, and then letting that influence what we had originally chosen to do, and it just became overwhelming. So feeling better about leveling, talked it out with my grade level, and my kids had a sub all day today, and they did a very, very good job. So I'll be sure to tell them that I'm very proud of them. I popped in once or twice throughout the day because I had forgotten something in my class or I needed something, and every time I came in, they were on task and they were focused, and I'm just so happy about it, especially again since this is only the 3rd week of school and the class is not at the point where it runs like a machine yet. So I'm proud of them. So I'm currently, I just finished checking my email, I finished updating Schoology, and now I'm going to make a list of things that I need to do that I haven't gotten to. I might not go to the gym tomorrow because I just want to get caught up. And by caught up, I just want to get the things that are on my to-do list for this week taken care of. And I'm going to get the room ready for tomorrow. And I am going to go home and make my Blue Apron ramen that I was supposed to make yesterday because I was really looking forward to that. So I think today's clip is going to be a little bit longer because I really wanted to show you what assessment looks like so that if you're a teacher, you have the reality of the situation. And if you're not a teacher, you know, you can understand what a teacher does throughout the course of the day. Or if you're a parent and you feel like, why is the teacher out all the time? Sometimes it's for stuff like this, like there's no other way for us to get a significant amount of kids leveled and get assessments done without taking a full day off. And even with that, I still have about half the class left. So that was my Tuesday. I'm just glad I don't feel as bogged down as I did yesterday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. If I have time and if I feel like I'm not bugging you too much, I might show you just a little clip of my Blue Apron ramen meal. If not on here, I'll probably post it on Instagram because I love posting my Blue Apron meals on Instagram. Anyway, that's enough talking for now. I will talk to you guys later. See you tomorrow or tonight. I don't know. Bye.
Good morning, it's Wednesday. Here is my outfit of the day. This striped dress is from Old Navy. I purchased this probably about a month or so ago. This vest is from The Gap and I've had it for a couple of years. These red Converse are from Nordstrom, but you can get them anywhere. And I'm wearing a silver watch today that I believe is a Fossil watch that I've had for a long time. And this bracelet. So I hope you guys have a great morning. See you later.
It's lunchtime, and my teammates have roped me into going out to eat for lunch. And I have succumbed to peer pressure. And I am having a cheeseburger. Look at her.
Kids meal.
Look at Cindy back
Hey,
there.
what can I say?
I'm supposed to eat
I'm tired of salads.
I'm supposed to eat my lean cuisine for lunch.
Ranch, please.
I'm sorry.
Can I get a Diet Coke?
Anything else?
That's it.
2277.
Thank you. I'm supposed to pretend to order a salad. And you caught me on camera. I mean, grilled chicken salad.
Aww.
What's it?
I'm watching Dora.
Oh, Dora.
I can't remember the monkey's name.
We're tired. Boots.
What have I eaten this week?
For dinner?
Good stuff.
For lunch?
Did I make any poor choices yet?
No.
What
Did you
day
have
is it?
quesadilla?
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
No, but I had the ramen. And it was good.
Good.
What
It
was
was
the
good.
sauce?
It was like soy, what was it? Soy
Like a
sauce?
soy-based sauce, yeah.
Vinegar, sugar.
And they had you wash the ramen to make it cold?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
run it in
chill
cold
it.
water for 30 seconds. And then it was string beans. You had to like blanch the string beans. So you had to cook them and then put them on ice.
No protein?
Chicken. You made the chicken. So, I mean, the chicken was relatively warm, but by the time it's in there with all, because it's tomatoes, string beans, what was it? Tomatoes, string beans, chicken, cucumbers, and ramen. It was good.
That's good, huh?
I'm sorry, I'm about to have that for dinner tonight.
Well, we had the
enough for
quesadillas last
leftovers?
night.
Were they good?
The Tinkerbell?
No, the quesadillas, the ground beef quesadillas.
Is that what you're getting? Ground beef?
I
And
have
it had like a lime dressing on it. It was good. So you
Yummy.
I have lamb this week and I've never had
You
lamb.
are gonna do lamb?
I'm
You said
kind
I'm
of
gonna try
nervous.
it?
I can't stand the smell of it.
Anyway, guys, get in there. There's Mrs. Chu. She's the one that
I just got
forced me to get a cheeseburger.
I got a grilled chicken
She got a grilled
salad.
chicken salad,
Just
dry.
lemon juice.
Mrs.
I got the
Haston.
LT. I was forced to get French fries, but somebody said.
Well, if I'm going down, you're going down.
We're all
I'm
going
only
down.
supposed to eat out once a month. Is it the first Friday of the month?
First.
The rule is first Friday of the month, but peer pressure. I was trying to do the right thing,
It's been a rough week.
but
week. We've all succumbed to peer pressure.
it's a rough week.
Good evening, everyone. It's probably close to 7:30. I just got home from my walk with Genesis, and it was a very trying walk. My dog, love her to death, but she can be a little ADD on her walks. So some days she's very laser focused walking from point A to point B, and other days she feels like she has to sniff every single blade of grass out there, and today was one of those days. But the good news is on that very trying walk with Genesis, I had like a moment of clarity. So I've recorded so much footage from today, I'm not even sure what I'm gonna end up showing, but what I would say about today is if I had to sum up this day for myself in a phrase or a word or whatever the case may be, I would say frizzle-frazzled. Now, frizzle-frazzled is not any kind of technical or intellectual term, but that's the best way I can describe it. And what I'm just trying to get across is that I'm having one of those days where I have so many thoughts and so many things to do running through my head that I can't really focus on one thing in particular in a way to be effective, like to be productive and get those things done. So today we had a staff meeting, our first staff meeting of the school year, and that lasted from about 3 to 4:45, which is a little bit longer than what I know my administrator intends for, but that's just the nature of staff meetings. Sometimes they just run longer based on whatever it is the topic is, or if someone asks questions. And so after the staff meeting, I went to my room, cleaned up a little bit, ended up talking to some friends for a while, and just kind of wasted time, which sometimes you just have to do. And so I didn't get home until about, I would say, 6:15, 6:30ish. And my intention was I was going to come home, walk the dog. I'm trying to find something to wear for tomorrow, so sorry, I'm not looking at you. Come home, walk the dog, and look at my lesson plans, because right now I am pretty far behind where I was supposed to be in terms of wonders. So it's Wednesday. I should have had all the lesson plans from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday completed by the end of the day. And if I were to look at it, I probably only have a full day's worth of wonders stuff completed. And I'm behind. I'm behind where I'm supposed to be. I'm not the only team member that's behind. My teammate Cindy, who you've met before, she's behind as well. And it's because there just have been these random things that have happened throughout the week that have kind of put me behind. I can't really speak for Cindy, but I know for me, I got behind on Monday because we have a library on Monday, so that took some time. Today we had a fire drill in the morning, and that took some time. And I don't have, there's parts of my day where I don't have any leeway to kind of push things over because I have the RSP teacher push into my classroom during math. So when she comes, I have to honor her time and kind of get to math. So long story short, I'm behind where I'm supposed to be. So I was gonna come home and like thoroughly look at my lesson plans, figure out what I've done, figure out what I haven't done, and kind of get myself ready. Now, on my walk with Genesis, although as trying as it was, I had my moment of clarity, and that was I had to just say, look, you're tired. It's gonna be 7 o'clock by the time you get home, and the likelihood you haven't eaten dinner, and the likelihood of you eating dinner, finding something to wear, take a shower, figuring out what you're gonna teach tomorrow, and going to bed on time is very low. And so I decided I'm just gonna come home, eat dinner, give myself the evening to relax, and probably wake up in the morning like I'm going to the gym and just go to work early. And so I think that's what I'm gonna do. I really am trying to get to the gym every day, and it's a struggle. So I know you guys can hear what I said last week because of the audio issues, but I was basically saying waking up to go to the gym every morning is very difficult for me because I'm not a morning person. And I try and stay committed to it, and I really am hard on myself when I skip a day. But there are points in the year, and this is one of them, where a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. Like, I'm gonna have to go in early and get some things done, and it's just not gonna happen tonight. I'm tired, like my mind isn't even in the right place to do it. So that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm going to go downstairs, I'm going to eat dinner. Luckily I don't have to cook because I made that ramen from Blue Apron, and that was really good, so I'm gonna eat those leftovers. And I think I'm just gonna relax. I might make a to-do list of the things I need to get done so that when I do go in early, I have like a game plan and I'm not just kind of fumbling around in my classroom. But yeah, I think I just need to relax. I'm tired. My mind's not ready. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have lit a candle so that I can relax. I'm gonna sit on the couch, eat, maybe make a to-do list, go to bed, wake up early, and try and get as much done as I can in my classroom tomorrow morning while it's early. I'm also frustrated that because I've just been so backed up, I haven't even been able to read, and that's annoying. So, I don't know. Good morning, everyone. Here is my outfit for today. I am wearing one of my new outfits from Old Navy, and I'm starting to feel like my videos are a commercial for Old Navy, but I just always find things that I like there that are well priced. So this top is from Old Navy, as well as these pants. Both of these are very soft and very comfortable, and I think I bought this maybe a month or so ago, sometime during the summer. This necklace is from Old Navy, and then these shoes you've seen before, they're just some black sandals. And then of course I'm wearing a watch I already own and some Alex and Annie bracelets. So that's it. I'll see you guys a little bit later. I hope you all have a great day. Bye. Good morning. It's a little after 7. I overslept because I accidentally set my alarm clock for PM instead of AM. So I overslept about 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, which on the one hand, I'm kind of annoyed by because I was supposed to get here a little bit earlier. But on the other hand, I'm not too upset because I got some sleep. So I'm getting ready to go into my classroom and try and get some things done. I need to prep some things for my mom because she's coming today to help me. And most importantly though, I need to look at my lesson plans because like I said last night, I am behind schedule. Sorry you can't see my face. I have lots of things in my hand, but I am behind schedule with language arts. So I'm coming in early to kind of take a look to see where I'm at. versus where I need to be. So it's about 7:15 and I was hoping to get here a little bit before 7. But I'm gonna stay positive because I have about an hour. School doesn't start till around 8:15 or so. So I'm getting ready to get the stuff ready for my mom, look at my language arts plans, and then if I have more time or if I get that stuff done in a reasonable amount of time, I'm going to go ahead and start maybe looking at lesson planning for next week, because my sister is coming in town on Friday and I want to be able to enjoy my weekend while my sister is here and not be worried about lesson plans. So I'm going to try and get that done. I made my to-do list last night, so I'm going to start working on that. And the nice thing about getting here early is that it's quiet. Like, nobody's here. Here is my little checklist. Eventually I need to get my binder together with all my student information. My mom, I'm gonna have her work on states and capital stuff for me, label my yellow folders, which are my unfinished work folders, and I need her to make AR tags, and I have to prep a couple things for her. And then me, I need to think about lesson planning for next week. I need to make the labels for the yellow folders that my mom's gonna help me with. And I need to figure out how to get everything caught up with wonders between today and tomorrow. And I need to enter the grades that I've collected from my students. So I think what I'm getting ready to do right now is I'm gonna go to the office. I'm going to cut construction paper for my mom because she's essentially making library cards for my students. So their library card has their AR levels on it, their reading ranges, their point goal, and a barcode with their name on it that the librarian uses when she checks out books to them. And they're just made on construction paper. So I need to cut the construction paper for my mom. And I'm gonna do that in the office now while there's not a lot of people there, because the thing about going to the workroom or the office is sometimes you can go in there and get distracted because you start talking to your friends and then you don't get anything done. So I'm gonna go there now while no one's there and it's quiet, and then I'm gonna come back into my room and buckle down and get my act together with language arts. So I will check in with you guys a little bit later. Have a great day, everyone. I just got home from my walk and I realized I forgot to tell you guys the best part of my day. So, and really, it was like the highlight of my day, and it came at just the right time. So this year, the first few weeks of school have been a little bit more hectic than usual because we just have a lot of different things going on at my site and in my district that are not just new to me, but new to everyone. So that's made for a little bit more work, a little bit more research, and it's just kind of been a bumpy start. And these past few days I've had to be like really strict with my class just to make sure they kind of stay in line and kind of understand my level of expectations during class time. And so there have been some things or some times where I had to kind of just use a harsh tone or whatever the case may be. So anyway, today my mom came and she helped by, you know, volunteering in my classroom and helping me prep some things. And there was a moment during the day where I was kind of stepped to the side talking to the RSP teacher, and the kids are just sitting quietly at their desk and my mom was at the back table working. And I guess at some point one of my students went up to her. So as we were going to lunch, I was walking out with my mom and my mom was like, "Oh, I was just giving a compliment." And I said, "By one of my students?" And she said, "Yeah." So she said, "Your student came up to me and said, Mrs. Robinson," and I assumed the compliment was going to be directed towards my mom, which it was. So my student went up to my mom and said, "Mrs. Robinson, I just want to say that you did such a great job raising your daughter." And so my mom told me that, and I was so touched because yes, it was a compliment for my mom, but it also means a lot to me because she was essentially saying, you know, I appreciate the person that your daughter, my teacher, is. And you'll always have students say nice things to you because you're always going to have those teachers' pets or those kids that'll say what they think you want them to say in order to gain your approval. But this particular student, this girl, I'm just very impressed by her. Just, you know, obviously I'm not impressed by her because she gave me such a nice compliment, but from the very beginning of the school year, you can tell she's a student that really takes school seriously, and she's always trying her best, and she just is really a very mature and impressive girl. And she doesn't strike me as the type of student that would say something just because she thinks it's what she should say to get approval. So I just was touched because it came at the right time, because, you know, I
have been a little bit stressed these past few weeks, and there have been times in the classroom where I feel like, man, I'm having to be so strict with these kids right now that I hope that they realize it's coming from a place of love and not just because I just am a rigid teacher and I'm just strict for the sake of being strict. And for her to say that in spite of all the times where I've had to really kind of keep the kids in line and be really rigid about what I want them to do, it makes me feel good because she knows in spite of all that, that I'm really, you know, trying to make sure I'm there for them and really trying to be the best teacher I can be for them and provide the best environment I can for them. So I just wanted to share that with you because this job is very demanding, and you don't always know if the kids are understanding where you're coming from as a teacher, or if the kids are able to understand why you have to be so disciplined in your classroom and how you want them to behave and interact with you and their peers. So I just wanted to share that with you because we all need those bright spots. I know I save all notes my students give to me, and I put them in a box, and I don't always look at them, but I know that they're there, whether I don't ever look at them until I'm an old lady and I want to reminisce about my teaching days, or if I'm just having like a day where I'm like, oh my gosh, am I even doing the right thing, or should I even be a teacher? So I wanted to share that with you guys, and that was really it. That's all I wanted to say. We'll see you guys tomorrow, Friday, TGIF, Jeans Day for me. And my sister's coming in town this weekend, and she's arriving tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be a good day for a lot of reasons. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Here is my quick outfit of the day. I decided to wear shorts today instead of jeans. So these shorts are from J. Crew Factory. This top is from Old Navy. I'm wearing a Michael Kors watch that I don't think I've shown before. It's two-tone, so it's silver and gold. And then these shoes, which I've shown before. And two Alex and Annie bracelets. And this necklace that I bought for myself from some online shop. It's another really small necklace. It just has my initial on it. So I hope you all have a good Friday, and I will see you soon.
Good morning. It's about 8 o'clock. The first bell just rang, the bell that tells the teachers that have morning duty that it is time to go to their duty, which means I have about 5 minutes or so before I have to get the kids. I got here early this morning. I got here at about just a little bit before 7. And I got some work done in terms of looking at my lessons for the day, and working on getting myself caught up with language arts. I think I'm very close. I checked in with Mrs. Chu, who's the one that has made the most progress this week in terms of Wonders, and just kind of matched up where I am in relation to where she was, and I don't have that much to catch up on. So I'm going to do the same thing today that I did yesterday. I'm going to make sure that I use my time efficiently. I'm going to make sure I don't go off on like little tangents, because sometimes while I'm teaching, someone will say something and we'll get into a whole nother conversation about something else, but I can't afford to do that today because we have PE. So I will check in with you guys a little bit later. I hope you all have a great Friday, and I'll see you guys soon. Okay, it's 5:45. I have done as much lesson planning as I can do for next week. Part of the challenge is there was only so much language arts I can plan because my team and I kind of pushed some of this week into next week, which will affect how next week is intended to be based on the pacing of Wonders versus where we actually ended up this week. And so I kind of need to meet with my team on Monday to see how we want all of next week to play out. So I did as much as I can, but these are the detailed plans that my team and I do together. So I believe earlier this week I talked about how last week I said it took me an hour and 15 minutes to plan, but I clarified and said not an hour and 15 minutes total to plan all subject areas, but just an hour and 15 minutes to transfer my plans that I came up with my teammates for Wonders and Plan Book, and then add in all the other subject areas like math and social studies. So all this is here. These are just language arts plans that we came up with for Wonders. And what we've decided to do right now is just so that we don't all get overwhelmed with planning a full week on our own, is each of us are in charge of a particular day. So even though there are only 3 5th grade classes here, there are 4 5th grade teachers. Did I say 5th grade? Yeah, 4 5th grade teachers. There's me, Mrs. Chu, Mrs. Haston, and then Mrs. Chu's job share partner, Mrs. Meredith, who you guys have not met yet. So Mrs. Chu is the 80% teacher and Mrs. Meredith is the 20% teacher, but Mrs. Meredith is such a hard worker that she practically puts in 100% of the effort. She's working just as hard as the rest of us. So she's agreed to plan a whole day by herself also. So one of us is in charge of planning all of Monday, one of us is in charge of planning Tuesday, one of us is in charge of planning Wednesday, one of us is in charge of planning Thursday, and Mrs. Haston was nice enough to be in charge of planning 2 days. So she does Friday and her other day. So when we plan a day, we have to look through the TE, and then we plan and just give the notes of what pages are you looking at as a teacher, what pages do the students need to be looking at, what resources do you need as a teacher, what resources will the students be using. And since we feel like Wonders is a little lacking with the writing instruction, we also look at what step up to writing pieces can we use to kind of supplement what they're suggesting, and what kind of Kagan structures can we include, because our district is big on Kagan structures. So this is, I'm trying to show you how many pages it is. It's thick, so it's 1, 2, I think it's a total of 6 pages, and this is just language arts. So I lesson planned as much as I could based on this and the changes we're gonna have to make next week. And so when you look at my plan book, which is this, these are just my quick plans if I just wanted, excuse me, a quick snapshot. So there's these holes here. Let me turn it this way. This is where I would put my plans for language arts, but I'm not quite sure how next week is gonna look. And then there are these 2 holes here because this is my Reader's Workshop section. So those holes are there where Reader's Workshop is because I thought I was gonna be able to start just doing mini lessons and everything for Reader's Workshop this week, but I now realize that was probably unrealistic. Like, it's unrealistic for me to have thought I'd be at least running or the beginning, I'd be at least at the point where I could start the beginning stages of Reader's Workshop. I don't have my reading groups, I don't have all my kids leveled, and that really is step 1. So I spent the whole day leveling students on Tuesday, as you know, and I left off at about 18 students, which left me about 15 to 16 students left to do. As of today, when my aide finished, she was right in the middle of finishing up with a student. I got a couple done, and now we have whittled that list of students that need to be leveled down to about 3. So I should be done next week, and once I have all the kids leveled, then I think it'll be more realistic to actually start my Reader's Workshop. So I just wanted to check in to show you that I am getting ready to go home. I am probably still gonna have to take some things home to work on, but I think it will be some very minor things like a little bit of grading and a little bit of inputting grades into our computer system. And I don't think my sister will mind that too much because I need to get it done because I don't want to get behind on things. So I am getting ready to head home. In case I don't check in with you guys later, if I had to sum up this week so far, I would say it was pretty good. Of course, I'm going to say it was a little stressful because that's just what I always say, but I think in the grand scheme of things, it was a good learning process for me to teach myself, like, look, you guys are gonna have to take your time and figure out how you want to work Wonders. Yes, it offers a lot of components to it, and our district is very big on telling us that they want us to follow it to fidelity, which means they want us to use it as it's intended as much and as often as possible. But I know at the same time they're realistic in knowing we won't be able to do every single thing that they have outlined just for the simple fact of our schedule. So we just have to be patient with ourselves and give ourselves some credit. I mean, we're getting it done. Oh, look, you look cute on the camera. I'm camera shy. What if I'm camera shy? Wait, are you really recording right now? Yeah. We can do it now. Hold on. I can
see you now. Hey everybody! My sister Mimi's in the car. Say hey, Mimi.
Hey there.
We're driving back to school because she thought she was camera shy, and she just moved this so that she can have a better, so you can see her better. So she's not camera shy. So anyway, I have to go back to school because I left my leftovers that my mom left me. It's some enchilada pie.
Oh, not enchilada pie.
And
Not mommy's enchilada
pie and some chicken fettuccine, and I need it.
And it's the weekend.
And I'm broke because I haven't gotten paid since June 1st.
No, we have to go back and get that food.
We had to go back. So
Priorities.
I'm going back to get my leftovers, and then we are going to meet our parents for dinner at the Lazy Dog. So I just wanted to introduce my sister. Hey, she just got her hair did too.
Twins with that color.
Get in there. Sister! Sister! We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Good afternoon. It is 3:39 and it has been a crazy Monday. I honestly feel a little bit stressed right now. Like I feel more stressed than what I should, given the fact that this is only the second